2018, LEGO released the LEGO James Bond Aston Martin DB5 from their creator expert line, an amazing James Bond car from the 007 movies. For 4 long years, this was the only LEGO James Bond set we had, until in 2022, we got the LEGO James Bond Aston Martin DB5.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Intel has told us there are at least 7.
Okay, I already see one. Give them. Okay.
They're the same picture.
While they're both incredibly similar models, they both have some pretty big differences. So today we're going to take a look at both of these models and kind of compare and contrast. So at the end of the video, we can decide which Aston Martin is better. Right off the bat, the smaller Aston Martin has some the bigger Aston Martin does not have, and that is a James Bond minifigure. While I do think the hairpiece looks absolutely terrible, it just does not look like Bond with that hairpiece. The hairpiece just doesn't work. But the rest of the minifig I honestly think is amazing. And overall, it's a pretty solid figure besides the hair. But at the end of the day, this is something that the $20 Aston Martin has that the $200 Aston Martin does not have, which is definitely a pretty big plus for the $20 one. Aston Martin uses very different pieces to get a very unique look for the front of the car, with the big one having a bunch of small pieces for the grille, and those are all prints. It also notably has brick built headlights as well as a stickered Aston Martin logo. The smaller one uses 2 pieces that are both printed for the grille, which I do like, but it also has printed headlights, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Also worth noting that the large Aston Martin has a fully accessible engine, which is super detailed and absolutely gorgeous, and it just folds right up like that, and it's something that the small Aston Martin does not have. There's also a small red lever on the inside. The big Aston Martin, when wind switched, basically operates the machine guns on the front of the car, which is just amazing to me. It's just such a phenomenal detail to have in a LEGO set, but it's obviously pretty much impossible to put it in a $20 small LEGO set like that. $200 car also has these small mirrors on the Aston Martin, while the $20 car does not include that, so that's another notable difference. One thing each of the Aston Martins share in common is an exclusive hubcap piece for the hubcap of the tires, which is very nice to have. But as we see again, the bigger Aston Martin just blows the other one out of the water, where it has the option to have the tire spikes from the movie, which is just super cool. The indent on the side of the Aston Martin is brick built, as well as the handle on the $200 one, where on the $20 one, it's just 2 little stickers that are a little bit miscolored and don't look amazing. Both cars do notably have a tiny DB5 sticker near the bottom of the car. The door of the $200 Aston Martin can be swung in and out incredibly easily, and it's very smooth and amazing, whereas the $20 one has no door to swing open. Moving to the back side of the cars, on the $200 Aston Martin, we have brick built headlights, which look great, where on the $20 one, there are printed, which also look good. The license plate on the $200 Aston Martin can notably actually spin around to change the license plates, which is just a super cool function. The $20 one obviously doesn't have that, but it does have other license plates for you to replace it with, which is just super cool, so I'm very glad that they did that. That's amazing. Spikes in the back of the big Aston Martin are just built with some cone pieces, where the ones on the $20 Aston Martin are built with these horn pieces, which look cool, but they get bent out of shape super easily. It's just very annoying to me. The large Aston Martin uses a mix of pieces to make a pretty flat, pretty square, rounded off window, where the smaller Aston Martin has a brand new molded piece, which looks great. Problem is, it's not really the same color as the rest of the car, so it ends up looking a little bit off. The large Aston Martin also has a trunk where you do have the little pieces to make the tire spikes hidden in there, as well as just some extra room, and this is something that the smaller one does not have. The large Aston Martin also has a pop-up bulletproof shield, which is just another incredible feature that, of course, the smaller one, it'd be really hard to fit that in. The only way to get inside the large Aston Martin is by the 2 small doors, so there's not a lot of area to get inside there, as the smaller Aston Martin, you just pop off the roof, and boom, you're good to go, and you have access to the interior. The large Aston Martin has a telephone that Bond can call his boss on, which of course is something that the smaller Aston Martin does not have yet again. The large Aston Martin has a steering wheel as well as the speedometer, and the smaller Aston Martin does have a steering wheel, but of course it doesn't really have a speedometer. It does have the AC vent and a couple other details, which is just very nice to have in, this small scale. Yet again, the big Aston Martin just goes above and beyond, where it has the GPS that can be flipped from the AC right from the movie, so that's a super cool detail to have. Far away the best feature of the $200 Aston Martin is the ejector seat. It is just so cool to have a working ejector seat in a LEGO car. It is an absolutely amazing, flawless function. But at the end of the day, it's just something that you can fit in a set that has less than 300 pieces. At the end of the day, I don't really think there's any question that the 2018 version is just better than the 2022 version in pretty much every way. It excels it so much. But don't get me wrong here, the 2022 Aston Martin DB5 is absolutely amazing. It's an incredible set for $20 and one of the best sets of the year. It's just nothing on the 2018 one. I'm sorry, it's just nothing. If you have $200 to spare, I would suggest picking up the retired older Aston Martin. It's better in every every way except for the minifig. I will give it, if you want a Bond minifig, go out and get the 2022 one. It just goes to show how even though they look very similar, they are very, very different in the quality and just everything that goes into it. That's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this pretty fun comparison to make. This is Seabrook Productions. Sign off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're interested in staying up to date with my latest content. I'll see you guys later. Peace!